Anyway, so we are going to paint a wine glass. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. I have rubbing alcohol on this paper towel, and I am just going to clean my wine glass with the rubbing alcohol. Now, usually, there's something on there. When I paint on glass, we'll leave that there, I use enamel paint, gloss enamels, whether they're deco art or folk art. Look at that one on clearance, 49 cents, you guys. How cool was that? Reduced, Hobby Lobby, 49 cents. But anyway, so I'll either use folk art enamels, where is it? Or deco art enamels. You can use multi-surface paint. I will if I really, really need the color, but I don't know. For some reason, I like the enamel paint. I love the enamel paint for glass, okay? And I do have, oh, I think I moved them over there. Yeah, I gotta get one of my glass brushes. Excuse me. I moved some of my brushes over here, and now I had to get them to paint. There we go. The thing about enamel paint, when you use enamel paint and you paint on glass, I try not to use a lot of water. If I need to rinse my brush, if I don't want to use a million brushes and I need to rinse my brush, I am going to really, really, really dry it, more so than I would if I was just using acrylic paint and rinsing it in the water cup. Okay, so let me turn you guys around. And I have this wine glass. I've cleaned it with rubbing alcohol, just regular drugstore isopropyl rubbing alcohol. Okay, I have my colors here. You can use whatever colors you want. I have a couple of greens and yellow, orange, blue, and purple. The first thing I want to do is use and you can use a flat brush, you can use a liner brush, whatever you're more comfortable with. I'm going to turn my glass upside down, and I'm going to get some of this green paint. When I use my liner brush, I like to twirl it between my thumb and my forefinger. All right. And I'm just going to start painting in some stems, some grass strokes up my glass. You want them to crisscross. You want some to be long, some to be short. Now I'm going to start picking up the other green. So I'm going to have two greens, but I'm also going to have the greens and the different values that having both of these greens on my glass now make. Because as I'm using both of these greens, they're mixing. So now instead of just having two greens, I have a huge variety of different values and different hues of green. And like I said, I want some of them longer, some of them shorter. And if you can see, I'm just like flicking. So I'm pulling, flick. I want the bottom, the base of my glass to be rather thick. So almost have like the whole thing covered up, and then I'm just flicking. And I want my strokes, we're not making little soldiers here, I want them to crisscross over each other. It's grass, it grows every which way. And I'm going to pick up some yellow, and I'm going to throw a few little yellows in here, not too many, just some highlights. Okay, now I have all my grasses in there, okay, and I'm just going to wipe off my brush. Actually, I will get a little bit of water, a little rinse, but again, I want to dry it really good. You don't want to introduce too much water. You want your brush to be really dry. You don't want to introduce too much water when you're using these enamel paints. I'm drying it on my, what do you call it, my apron here too. Okay, now I'm going to go to maybe this orange, and I'm just going to start adding little flowers. I'm going to use my pinky to anchor, and these flowers are just a series of 3 strokes, one in the middle and 2 at the sides, one in the middle and 2 at the sides. I'm still using my liner brush, and I'm just adding in these little flowers here. and I want them random. So as I add them in, I'm going to be turning my glass. And that's it. I'm twisting it right between my thumb and forefinger. And I'm just putting them in here. Random. Put as many as you want. If you don't like orange, don't put any orange. It's totally up to you. Okay? Now I put those little random orange flowers in here. And I'm going to rinse my brush again. Dry it off really well. Apron. Okay. Now I'm going to go into the purple. These are going to be a little bit different. So these are going to be more of a cone shape. So I'm going to put a dot up here. And I'm going to dot. And as I dot, I'm going to get a little wider. And then I'm going to come in and get a little bit more narrow again. Come up here. Go wide out in the middle. And you want to be able to see through them. So as we dot, we're leaving some space, and then we're coming in a little bit more narrow again. This the pretty one up here is kind of tall. Dot out a little bit wider in the middle, and then as you work your way down, get a little bit more narrow. Put one in here. And you can make these wine glasses as full or as sparse as you want. If you like it more minimal, it's up to you. If you just want to use the grass and maybe 1 or 2 colors of flowers, that's up to you. You want to make it a whole wildflower thing, totally up to you. I tend to have my pointer finger out here floating around, so it's a little, I have a little bit lighter touch, but you do you. Okay, I'm just going to wipe off this purple because now I'm going to go into the blue. All right, and with the blue, I'm going to add like these little star flowers. So I'm just tapping my brush and I'm making 5 little petals. Okay, so I'm picking up the brush, I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not even really brush stroking. I'm just kind of laying it on there. I'm just kind of, oh, that one got a little away from me. That's okay. We'll add a leaf. I'm just tapping the brush and laying on the paint. They're almost like little gingerbread man with the head and the arms and the legs. A little star, whatever you want, starfish, whatever you want it to be. 5 little taps. And again, like I said, you can make these as sparse or as full as you want. And as I do it, I'm twisting it around, so whichever flower I'm doing, it's random, but it's around the whole glass. See that? And then a little wash, a little rinse. I'm going to go to my yellow. I'm going to do these little yellow ones. These I'm going to pull all up. Okay? So I have these yellow. And this is like a half a flower, almost like a bud. I'm pulling all my petals up into one direction. We're going to add centers, you guys, so this is not this is not the end all be all of our flowers. I'm pulling all of these up to one common place, one center. See if I have enough of these. Here we go. If you think you missed some, you can add some more. Not every piece of grass is a stem and has to have a flower at the top of it. That's totally up to you. And I'm going to come back with my, I think my purple, only because. And I'm going to put a little center on these yellows. So all these yellows, I pulled all the petals up to one location, and now I'm just taking the back of my brush and I'm dotting on a center. You could do it with white paint. I didn't put out any white paint. I'm going to get my orange now, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to dot a little bit of a center in my blue flowers. Okay. There we go. All right. And there we have it. And like you can keep going. You can add as much as you want. I have some yellow on my brush. I can come in here and I can add a little bit of yellow to these purple flowers. I can get white and add a little bit of white to add some highlight if I want. Okay, give another little rinse. Good dry. Then I'm going to come in here, I'm going to get some green. And I'm going to put a little bit of leaves. Just random leaves on some of my, what would then be the stems, as opposed to blades of grass. And you could put as many or as few as you want. And I'm just going around, placing them in here, giving a little bit more detail to some of our stems here. Pick up the light green. And then I'm going to show you something easy too that I do that just kind of kicks your project up a notch. Okay, got some leaves, got some little flowers. And then I'm going to take maybe the purple. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to put a series of these little clusters of 3 dots. Okay, maybe get some blue. And you can do, again, as many or as few as you want. And look how pretty that even looks from the inside. All right, let me turn you guys around. And there it is. There is my little wildflower painted wine glass. I put the little dots on there. You could make it fuller if you want. You can make it more sparse if you want. It is totally up to you.